And welcome everybody. Mike Thompson here for the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament for the Red River Athletic Conference as the top 6 teams in the conference in action this weekend. 4 matches today, 1 tomorrow. The championship will be starting off with the first round of matches. First one will be coming up here at 10:30. Starting here in a few moments. Jarvis Christian College, the number 5 seed, is taking on the number 4 seed, the University of the Southwest. A little bit later today, it's going to be at about 1 o'clock this afternoon, be the number 3 seed, the host Our Lady Lake University, versus the number 6 seed, Texas College. Winner of those matches will be playing later on against the top 2 seeds, number 1 seed Houston Tillotson and number 2 Wiley College. With this first matchup, Jarvis Christian out of Hawkins, Texas, finished the season at 8-18 overall, 3-8 conference play. Coming here as the 5th seed, as they will be taking on the University of the Southwest. University of Southwest, 11-19 overall, 7-5 in conference play. As these two teams get ready to play each other, Jarvis Christian, 0-3 all-time in Red River Athletic Conference tournament history. University of Southwest, 9-9, tied with Our Lady of the Lake for the 4th most wins in conference tournament history, as they come in again 9-9. No regular season and no conference championships for for Southwest. Also none for Jarvis Christian. Southwest has played in a conference championship game, tournament championship game, back in the early part of the 2000s. As we get ready for the start of this one here. As again, Jarvis Christian out of Hawkins, Texas, established in 1912, going up against the University of the Southwest out of Hobbs, New Mexico, established in 1962. Head coach for Jarvis Christian, Jasmine Abbott, who is 8-18 all-time, as it's her first year at Jarvis Christian. She came over from Marshall High School in Marshall, Texas, where she was assistant volleyball coach. She's going up against Katrina English in her first season, 11-19 at the University of Southwest. A much better team than the record states at 11-19, as she's coming over as she was the volleyball coach at Kerrville Tivy, right up the road here from San Antonio. So as we get ready for the start of this one here, the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament. Live here from Maybe Gymnasium on the campus of Our Lady of the Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, just outside of downtown San Antonio, on a cool, rainy day here. Temperatures in the mid-40s right now outside, and a little chilly inside, but much better than outside. Pardon me there, as starting the serve here will be the University of the Southwest, as it will be Autumn Lopez to start the service here for the Mustangs. And we are underway from San Antonio. The first serve is going to be into the net, service error. And Jarvis Christian will take an early 1-0 lead here in set number 1. As that will bring up to serve now is Jamia Smith, a junior out of Huntsville, Texas. Set up there by Bundlin. Back over, and it's going to be blocked at the net. It's a combination there by Lavingo and Lopez. Over the top there. And Sia sets it up there, and now coming back across the net. Coming across there by Drillbliss. And the points. Set back over by Gray. Back to the net, the shot put up there by Larvingo, but into the net, and point for Jarvis, and Jarvis out to a 3-1 lead here in set number 1. Chantel McCleveland has checked in. Jasmine Hutton to serve here for Jarvis. Over the top, nice serve, got over there, set up by Lacey, put over, and it's going to find the floor. As Larvingo will put that one down for Southwest. And it's now 3-2 lead in favor of the Bulldogs from Jarvis Christian. As Larvingo to serve. Over the top. Set up by Johnson. Trying to put over the net there by McCleveland. Pushed back down by Southwest at the net. And Southwest will tie it up at 3 here in set number 1. Larvingo serve. Just over the top there by Lacey. Coming back with it is Esparza, and Esparza will put it down. And Jarvis will take their first lead at 4-3. Larvingo. 3 in a row there. That's Johnson. And able to get it over the top of the net there was Jaya Johnson to tie it up for Jarvis. So 4-piece now. Tanika Lacey to serve now for Jarvis. Lacey will send it, and will send it long. Service error, Boyd Southwest. And the Mustangs will take the lead back here at 5-4. So Addie Jimenez to serve for the University of the Southwest. But over the top, pushed around, and that's going to find its way down. Put down by Desire Chris, and Jarvis ties it up again at 5-5. So Johnson serve over. Set up by Marquez. Jackson across, blown up at the net, but it's going to be a blocking error as it will come off of the hands there of Taylor Joyner. And Jarvis takes the lead back at 6-5 here in set number 1. Just over the net, nice serve put up by Hutton. Over the top there by Chris. Set up Marquez all the way from the back. Hutton tried to get there. Hutton will just knock it back. And pushed up, and Jarvis just getting it over and having to come in for a nice dig. There was Jimenez. Set up as Hutton going to be blocked at the net. As the block picked up there by Esparza and Joyner. So Southwest tying it back up. That's a serve up and over by Byland. Just over the top there by Jackson. Set up Byland over the top. Hutton knocked over by Jackson. Set back and not able to make the return off the nice kill there by Taylor Joyner. And that will give Southwest a 1-point lead again here. Teams back and forth here as Byland to serve. Byland serve over. Trying it up there by McCleveland. And put down by Candace Jackson. And Jarvis will tie it back up. Chantel McCleveland. Send it over, and it's going to go wide. Service error. And that will give the Mustangs the lead back again. Alexia Esparza to serve here for Southwest as Esparza will send it and send it long. So back-to-back service errors there. One for Jarvis, one for Southwest. And that will tie it up at 8 now. So Jayla Gray now serving for Jarvis. On the top there. Set now by Esparza. So taking the lead, Southwest will take a 9-8 lead. So the serve, and not able to make the return, and point for Jarvis. So Jarvis looking to try and advance and get their first ever tournament victory, but a service error there. And we're going to be tied at 10. And point down for Southwest. And the Mustangs will take the lead back here at 11-10. Back and forth teams are going right now. Up over the top of the net. Not getting a clean return there was Tarver. Dug up nicely there. And that's going to be sent long out there by Samantha Dribbleless. Dribbleless will put it long where we're going to be tied at 11. So Jamisha Hutton to serve now for Jarvis Christian. Hutton up over the top. Set up by Marquez. Put long there by Byland, but kept alive there by Jarvis Christian. Set up there Lopez, and over the top of the net, blocking error off of McCleveland. And it's going to be back to a 1-point advantage here for the University of the Southwest at 12-11. As Larvingo with the serve. Set up by Jackson. Or Johnson, I'm sorry. Push back over Esparza. Esparza will go long with it, but touch. And point for Southwest as they'll take their largest lead of this first set of 2 at 13-11. Both teams have had a 2-point as their highest lead here in this first set. Very close played. And Larvigo over. Set up is McCleveland. It's going to come wide. As Jarvis saying that it went off a defender. But it's going to be a 3-point advantage now for Southwest. And put up. Larvingo sends it over. Going to find the back line. And point for Southwest as they're starting to get a lead here. 4-point advantage. And a timeout called by Jarvis Christian. 15-11, Jarvis Christian leads here. Set number 1. We'll take a break. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Network. And welcome back. RAC Soccer Tournament also taking place starting today. And find out more information on that and more about the volleyball tournament, you can go to the all updates at the all on Red River Athletic Conference. Visit the website www.redriverconference.com and follow the conference on Facebook and Twitter. Use the hashtag RRAC Volleyball. So 16-11 now. As Autumn Lopez, I'm sorry, not Autumn Lopez, it's Samantha Dribblebus. Over there, it's going to be a service ace. As Dribblebus gets her 15th service ace of the season. And it's now a 6-point lead. The top there. Set up by Smith. Comes back down. And just trying to get it back. And a good job of doing that as Gray puts it over. Jarvis Christian having problems. And again, keeping it alive. McCleveland over the top. Put up by Lopez. Put back there by Bylum. And it's going to be a blocking error. And point for Southwest. And a nice point there for both teams. And a great job for Jarvis, who looked like they were in trouble a couple of times on that point. And we're able to get it over the top. Dribblebus puts it over. Pushed up around and set up and over by Hutton. Across there as Larvingo's shot is sent back. And that's going to find its way down as Larvingo not able to get underneath it, and a point. Or Byland not able to get underneath it, and it's going to be a 6-point lead here. Stanika Lacey serving now for Jarvis Christian. Lacey is going to catch the back of the head of her teammate, Desire Chris, and a point on the service error for the Mustangs. So Jimenez down to serve for Southwest. Eddie Jimenez, a junior from Big Spring, Texas. Over the top of the net there. Hutton sets it up. Over the top is Chris. Set up by Marquez. Now back over. All the way across over to Jackson. Marquez keeps it alive. Put over the top there by Esparza. And that McCleveland puts it over. McCleveland again. McCleveland will win the joust at the net with Taylor Joyner. And a point for Jarvis, and this 19-13 Southwest lead is at 6. So Jan Johnson over the top. Marquez sends it back as Byland with a monster kill. And it's 20-13 now the score. So Byland now serving. And catching it. And a little indecision by Tanika Lacey will cost them the point of the service ace on the ball that looked like it was going long. So 21-13 the score. As Dylan Byland's serve is over. And not able to get it over the net there. As Jarvis kind of sat back there, got a little flat-footed, not able to react to that. 9-point advantage is what was a close match, or a close set. Southwest is starting to pull away here from Jarvis. But the service error there from the Mustangs. So Monette Tarver to serve. Junior from Arp, Texas. Byland sets up and pushed over the top by Joyner, and that's going to be a violation is coming in. A little too close coming in from the back. There was Lauren Jackson. And so a 9-point lead as Alexis Esparza here to serve. We'll send that up and over. That's Tarver. And a little miss hit, and Tarver just has to get it over. Byland pushes back across, and that's going to go long. The shot there taken by Dribbleless. So 23-15 now. And the serve coming here from Jayla Gray. Gray will send it back in a service error, and that's going to be set point now for the University of the Southwest. And here to serve is going to be Autumn Lopez to serve. Autumn Lopez, a sophomore from here in San Antonio. A bit of homecoming for Lopez, who sends the serve up and over. Get it over the top there. It's Byland. Sets back, sent down, trying to dig it up. Keeping it alive as Jarver will send it back too long. And first set goes to Southwest. 25-15. We will take a break. Have your second set here in a moment. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back to Maybe Gymnasium on the campus of Our Lady of the Lake University for the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament. As this the first round matchup of the day is Jarvis Christian, the 5 seed, taking on the 4 seed, the University of the Southwest. Southwest takes the first set 25-15. Second game coming up about 45 minutes or so, or 1 o'clock at the conclusion of this one. Is going to be the 3 seed and host Our Lady of Lake University as they are taking on the 6 seed Texas College out of Tyler, Texas. As a match has started off that first set as Jarvis came out, took the lead, and it was very back and forth for a while. But after 11-11, that's when University of Southwest kind of took over this match and finished scoring 14 of the last 18 points of the set to take that first set. So coming up, Jemiah Smith to serve here for Jarvis. Smith will send the serve up and over. Pushed back over the top there by Ramirez. And now back, and again Lopez just kind of punching it over. Snuck over the top by Jaya Jackson. And Jarvis will take a 1-0 lead here in set number 2. Jarvis 0-3 all-time in Red River Athletic Conference tournament matches. University of Southwest 9-9 all-time in tournament matches. Lopez with the return. Set over, dribble miss. That's going to be blocked back of the net. Lopez keeps it alive, pushed over by Esparza. Set up there by Jackson over the top. Nice dig there by Esparza. Dribble miss over the top. And now it's going to be set up by Jackson. Jackson over to Lacey, and Lacey's shot is going to be blocked at the net there by Larvingo, and we're going to be tied at 1 here in set number 2. So Sarah Marquez now coming in to serve for the University of the Southwest. Marquez, a freshman out of El Paso, will send that up and over. Pushes back along the side there. Lauren Jackson puts it down for Jarvis. And Jarvis takes a 2-1 lead. And coming in to serve now for the Bulldogs is going to be Lauren Johnson. Lauren Johnson, the sophomore out of Everman, Texas. Ready for the serve here for the Bulldogs. Up over the top, Lopez. Nice job of keeping that up. There's Byland. And pushed over Larvingo. Larvingo's shot's going to go long towards that near side corner of the back. And it's going to be 3-1 Jarvis. So it's kind of looking like it did in set number one. Jarvis hoping that they can keep it going, though. And the serve up. Byland puts it over. Nicely dug up. Pushed over the top there by Lacey. Then over, dribble, the shot's going to be blocked at the net. As McCleveland and Johnson having a block party there on that far side. It's 4-1 now. Serve up and over by Lauren Jackson. Byland. And into the net is Alexis Mancera. And it's going to be 5-1 now. Over the top, Lopez, after just pushing it back over, was McCleveland. But not able to get enough, but coming in for the hitting era is Alexia Esparza. And it's 6-1 now in favor of Jarvis here in set number two. So Lauren Jackson, serve is over as Larvingo gets under there and Ramirez. And that's going to go into the net there by Dribblebus, and it's going to be 7-1. And we're going to have a timeout by the University of Southwest as Coach Katrina English not happy with her Mustangs right now. We'll take a break. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sportsnet. And welcome back to the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament. Here on the campus of Our Lady Lake University as Jarvis Christian to a 7-1 lead here in set number two. Southwest took set one. Jarvis trying to even it up. Dribblebus puts it down. So able to capitalize off the timeout there. And as Dribblebus to serve. 7-2, Jarvis lead. Last time Dribblebus served for Southwest, they went on quite a run. And McCleveland over the top there. Lopez, as Dribblebus will come from the back to push it over. Sets up there and over by Lacey, actually by McCleveland. Byland, pushed up by Tarver. And pushed back down, kept alive. What a dig by Marquez. Another dig on the other side, but not able to finish off. As Jamea Smith tried to come in there. She had a good effort, but not able to complete it. And the point for Southwest. 7-3 now. Jarvis's lead is down to 4. Dribblebus to serve. The freshman from Killeen puts that over. Set up by Jackson. McCleveland's shot at the net is going to be blocked by Byland. And again, another point here, 3 in a row for the Mustangs, who now trail by 3. Dribblebus. Nice serve over the top. Smith, and that's going to be sent wide. Hitting error there by Jaya Jackson. And it's now 7-5. That's 4 in a row now for Southwest. Dribblebus over the top. There's Tarver. Now set as McCleveland will find the back line. Point for Jarvis. Then the 4-0 run from Southwest. So Desire Chris will check in. And the serve is going to be Jamisha Hutton, senior from Tyler. And that's going to be a service error by Jarvis Christian. So the Mustangs back to within 2 here. As Addie Jimenez to serve here. And there's a junior from Big Spring, Texas, sends it over. As Chris hits that off the side of the hand there, and it's going to be Southwest back to within 1. So Southwest has scored 6 of the last 7 now to get back into this second set. As Jimenez's serve is over. Pushed up by Jackson. Now McCleveland will send it. Pushed up Jimenez from the side. Bylam sends it, finds the back corner. And we're tied at 8. So Jimenez's serve. Over the top. Tarver, push back, is able to get it over Jay Jackson. And the point for Jarvis, and Jarvis gets a much needed point there as they take the lead back at 9-8. Jay Johnson. And Jimenez gets a little tangled there with Drebelbus, and it goes into the net. Unable in the return error there on Southwest, and that's a 2-point lead for Jarvis. Marquez pushed over the top there as Joyner. Byland, Marquez, and a little confusion who that was going to go to. The Drebelbus comes and punches it over the top. Tarver over the top. Byland, Marquez sets up on the far side of Sparsa. Dug up by Jarvis. Chris puts it over the top. Push back, and again, one that could have let go. And a point for Southwest, and they're back to within 1. Some little mistakes here and there of going after some balls have hurt Jarvis, and that's not able to return there. We're back tied again, this time 10. So Byland to serve. Over the top. As McCleveland will send it long on the hitting error. And a point there for Southwest, and they take the lead for the first time here in the second set at 11-10. Pushed up there by Jackson as Chris over the top. Kept alive by Byland. Back over and just trying to get it over the top, and they do. Just missing the divider over. And nicely dug back right over the net again there by Jimenez. At the net and able to put it down is Desire Chris. And we're tied at 11. And we were tied at 11 back in set number 1 when Southwest took over that second set. As this one is kind of looking a lot like that. And that's going to be a service error taken there by Bonet Tarver. So Alexia Esparcia now to the serve. Freshman from El Paso. Send the jump serve over the top. Nice serve. Nice return there. Trying to get it back. Blocked back at the net. Put down there by Alexis Mancera. And so a 2-point lead now for Southwest. And it's almost like a repeat of set number 1. That's Esparza. A very freshman-heavy team here, and that's going to be a service error and point. Coming there for Jarvis. It's 13-12 now. So Jayla Gray to serve. Gray, a sophomore from Fresno, Texas, sends that over the top. Byland sets up for Joyner. Joyner again at the net, off the fingertips of the blockers, but kept alive as Lacey puts that one over. Drebelbus over the top there from Joyner. And that's going to be mishit on the set by Jaya Jackson. And a point for Southwest and back to a 2-point advantage here at 14-12. As Autumn Lopez now serving. Over the top. That's going to be punched up. And able to put it down as Lauren Johnson gets the point there for Jarvis. As now Maya Smith to serve. As Jarvis back to within one here. Lopez, Bylum as Larvingo puts it down in front of the diving Gray. And 2-point lead at 15-13. So Sarah Marquez serving. And into the net, service error. And again, Jarvis back to within one. So Lauren Johnson to serve here. Over the top. Byland. Cross, sent over by Mancera. Lacey gets it. Now pushed all the way over to Dribblebus. Lacey trying to return it, but that ball is hot and it comes off of her and away at a point for Southwest. So 16-14 now. Samantha Dribblebus to serve. Freshman from Killeen gets that over. And pushing that back there, Lopez. Pushed over by Marquez, over to Esparza. And going to be a point for Southwest, and the lead is at 3. This over the top. Jackson sneaks it over, but a nice job by by Marquez, to keep that alive. Set up by Lacey, or Smith, now over the top. Marquez, Lopez, Dribblebus from back, puts it forward. Set up again by Smith, and that's Lacey. Dug up by Lopez, but not able to get there in time is Larvingo. Point for Jarvis Christian. 17-15, Southwest with the lead here, set number 2. Jarvis up 1-0. As Jamisha Hutton to serve, the senior from Tyler. And that's going to be a service error and a point for the Mustangs, and they take the lead back by 3. Addie Jimenez to serve. Goes back around, and that's going to be sent long by Chantel McCleveland. As 19-15 the lead. And that's going to be a service error as that mishit by Addie Jimenez nearly hits the official up on the stand. And so it's a 3-point lead for Southwest at 19-16 here against Jarvis. And set up by Marquez. Sent back to shot by Joyner there by Chris and McCleveland. That's Chris and McCleveland there at the net. And Jarvis back to within 2. The winner of this will take on the 1 seed, Houston Tillotson, at 4:30, and a service error by Jaya Johnson. And again, the lead at 3 for Southwest. Set up by Johnson. As Chris's shot is going to get over, a blocking error coming there from Joyner. And Jarvis again back to within 2. So Monet Tarver to serve. Sophomore from Houston. Send that over. And keeping it there along the net. A nice job, Lauren Johnson, as the ball just kind of danced across the top of the tape there. And Jarvis back to within one here. Jarvis 0-3 all-time in conference tournament. They've won just one set, and that was back in 2006. And a loss to Wiley College, and that's going to be tied at 20. So now they're looking to win their second set and trying to come back in this one and win their first ever conference tournament match. So we're tied at 20. It's Tarver's serve. Nice serve, but Lopez there for it. Bylam. It's all the way across, put over by Mancera, and point. And the arrow there, and a point for Southwest. And the Mustangs back up by one here. So Alexia Esparza to serve. Esparza kept up Tarver. Nice job there from Hutton. Just back over the net. Mancera set up by Johnson. Push back, they're going to find its way down there. As Candace Jackson with a point there for Jarvis Christian. We're tied at 21. So Lacey will check back in. And Gray will be serving here for Jarvis Christian. As we're tied at 21. Gray up over the top. Jimenez. Byland sets up, dribble best, who finds the far line as she just came across. Beautiful shot there by Dribblebus. And we're going to be a 1 point lead again for Southwest, 22-21. So Joyner in and out there as Autumn Lopez here to serve. Up over the top, Lopez. Set up by Jackson, up and over point. Jarvis Christian ties it at 22. So Jemiah Smith in to serve now for the Bulldogs, trying to give them the lead here. Smith, a junior from Huntsville, Texas. Dylan puts it over, and Larvingo puts it over, but I said by Bylam. And 23-22, Southwest back up in front, and a timeout called by Jarvis Christian. 23-22, Southwest leads set number 2, up 1-0. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the Rack Sports Net. And welcome back. 23-22. Sarah Marquez has served for Southwest. Southwest with the lead by 1 over Jarvis. First round matchup in the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament here in San Antonio, Texas. Sent back down and put down as Janet Jackson will tie it again for Jarvis Christian. So Janet Jackson to serve. And Chantel McCleveland will check back in for Jarvis as well at the net. Marquez sets up Larvingo and not able to get under it as the ball kind of drove the hand of Jamia Smith into the court there, as she's still holding on to that hand a bit, but it's going to be set point here for Southwest. The dribble best to serve. Snuck over the top, kept not able to keep it alive there as A nice job there by Esparza, but Lopez sending it under the net, and we're tied at 24. So the set point will go away for Southwest as we're tied at 24. You got to win by 2. As Jamisha Hutton with the serve over the top. And Marquez blocked at the net by McCleveland. Dribble miss, sends it long, and that's going to be set point now for Jarvis Christian. As Hutton, and a timeout for Southwest here. 25-24, Jarvis trying to win their second set ever of the Red River Athletic Conference, even it up and try and get their first ever conference tournament with victory. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. Up over the top, looking, gets it over. Hutton. Smith. And that's sent back. It's Lopez. Marquez. Dribble miss from back. And that's going to be a walking error. Comes off the fingertips there at the net. And we're going to be tied at 25. So Jimenez to serve. And down point Southwest. Now it's going to be set point. So Southwest looking. Now with their second set point of the second set. It's Jimenez over. Miss hit for a moment there. McCleveland pushes it over. Marquez sneaks it over the top. Kept alive. Nice dig as Chris puts it over. Esparza. Marquez back over to Esparza. Off the side, it's going to go. Blocking error. Out point for Southwest, and they will take second set, 27-25, and 2-0 lead. We'll be back for set number 3. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament. Here on the Rack Sports Net, hosted by Our Lady of the Lake University, here on the campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. Maybe Gymnasium. As Southwest one set away from advancing to the semifinals against Houston Tillotson. As right now, a .283 attack percentage for the match for Southwest. Jarvis Christian at 0. 23 kills for Southwest, 15 for Jarvis Christian. Southwest, most of those attack percentage points comes from the first set where they had a 370. And that second set went down a bit, 190. Jarvis Christian 120 in the first set and a negative 111 in set number 2. As we're ready to start set number 3. As Autumn Lopez will be serving for the Mustangs. The Mustangs trying to get their 10th victory all time in the conference tournament. 9-9. Right now tied in 4th place with the host Our Lady of the Lake, and that's over the top, put over by Lacey. Lopez, Bylum sets back, and Mancera able to get that one down, and 1-0. So this one starting off different than the previous 2 sets, as Southwest will start things off with the first point. Pushed over the top, and going to be a point. And for violation coming forward, or dribble miss, I think got into the net there underneath. And we're tied at 1. Jarvis Christian, they were here 2 hours prior to the match warming up. Over the top there as Larvingo puts it over. And 2-1 Southwest lead. Marquez will check in now as Mancera will come out. Marquez will serve. And Our Lady of the Lake University cross country update has won the conference meet this morning. And we'll get more result information on that. And over the top, push back, miss it. There's Tarver, keeps it alive. And putting it up over the top there was Key. Smith, as Lacey's pushed back. Smith puts it over, Lopez. Marquez pushes back, dribble miss will come forward. Push it over, dug up again. Nice point, Lacey puts it over. Lopez, Marquez sneaks it over the top. Again, Lacey, pushed back down by Jackson. Or Johnson, that is. Gray there, Smith, Johnson. Marquez pushes back, Bylum, and Bylum will finally end the point. And 3-1 Southwest with the lead here in set number 3. That's Marquez over the top, and that's going to be in a service ace as Candace Jackson watches it as it was close and it catches the line. And point for Southwest now 4-1. Marquez sends it back. Jackson over the top, Lacey. Lacey gets it to fall in, and point for Jarvis Christian. So 4-2 now the lead for Southwest as Johnson to serve for Jarvis. Marquez sets back over that. Dribble miss there as Marquez, and now put back over by Esparza. Over the top there, push McCleveland, and point. And now 4-3, Jarvis has come back. As McCleveland, just her 3rd kill of the match for McCleveland. And Jarvis has really needed a lot more from her today, all conference for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be sent long unforced error on the Mustangs. And we're going to be tied at 4 now. But Chantel McCleveland, senior out of Big Sandy, Texas. It's been a little quiet today for Jarvis. It has been kind of spread out, though. 4 kills is the high for Jarvis for Lacey. Push back over the top there, Bylam. Marquez will set up for Larvingo, and Larvingo just in front of Jemiah Smith. And so the University of the Southwest will take a 1-point advantage again. Dribble miss Hilliard to serve. Over the top there. Set up for Lacey, and Lacey puts it down. Marquez and Dribble miss kind of colliding a moment there. As caught the side of the face of Dribble miss, and we're tied at 5. As Hutton now to serve for Jarvis Christian. All the way across there to Esparza, and not able to return is Hutton as Alexia Esparza puts it down. As Esparza picking up her 7th kill of the match now. Her and Dribble miss, the team leaders in that category for Southwest, and the Mustangs with the lead 6-5. So Jimenez with the serve over. Set up as Lacey, who uses the left hand, as Marquez diving will send the ball under, and we're tied at 6. So Jaya Johnson back in at the net. As now Jarvis started off slow in this third set, has come back to tie. And put down. The return there by Jaya Jackson. And 7-6, Jarvis will take their first lead of set number 3. All the way over, Bylan into the net. And the point of the hitting error from Bylan. And it's 8-6, Jarvis with a 2-point advantage now. Set up by Marquez and back over the top of Esparza. McCleveland over the top, kept alive by McCleveland and hit into the net there by Jackson and then sent under. And we're going to be tied at, actually no, it's going to be 8-7. 1-point lead for Jarvis Christian. So the serve coming here from Byland. Over the top, nicely kept alive by Hutton. McCleveland, send it back, Bylam. As Jimenez over to Esparza, over the top, kept alive, sent back by Chris. Jimenez, Bylam back deep, set up there, Hutton, around over to Jackson. Jimenez coming from back is dribble miss, and that's going to be a point for Jarvis Christian. That's McCleveland. Picking up kill number 3 of the match there. And that's a service ace by Monet Tarver. And that will give a 3-point advantage now to Jarvis. And that is ace number 2 for Jarvis. As Chris over the top, able to get it to go. And a 4-point advantage. So Jarvis, not wanting their season to come to an end, have come out strong here in this third set, and that's going to be on the line, service ace. Right in front of the official. And her second ace of this service. Now over the top there, another one. Back-to-back aces by Tarver, and a timeout called by Southwest. 13-7. Jarvis leads set number 3. Southwest up 2-0. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. 4 aces for Monet Tarver here in this match, and 3 on this set of serves for her. And able to get that one up and over, just missing out on another ace, and Chris will go into the net. And that was just how they got the return on that one. I don't know. So Esparza to serve. As she came in to save that serve there. So it looked like it was going to be another service ace for Tarver. Point over the top. And returned by Chris, and again. Everyone kind of stopped for a moment. And then sliding in there was Bylam. As Kayla Tramble has checked in to the match for the first time for Southwest. And up over the top there is Gray. And push back down there. Set up. And sit back over by Jackson. Lopez to the back to Esparza. Jackson sneaks it up over the top, but Bylam is there. Lopez all the way around over to Mancera. Again, kept up in the air. Pushed back. That's going to be mishit there by Kayla Tramble. As I think she was looking at trying to hit something in there and just got a little too excited, sends it long. 7-point lead for Jarvis. And she will come out. And Dribblebus will come back in. Dribblebus blocked at the net. And that'll be Candace Jackson who blows that one up. And they've doubled up Southwest now. Jarvis leading 16-8. Byland to the middle there is Mancera. That's going to be violation as Lacey there at a point for the Mustangs. 16-9 now. 7-point advantage for Jarvis Christian. And looking as coming out is Taylor Joyner. As Tramble will come back, and now Tramble will, as they're trying to do the substitutions, which the official is telling them now. Now Tramble will come out, and in will come in Martinique Larvingo. And now the official will go to the scorer's table to check if everything was done correctly, and it was. And as those very simple volleyball substitutions and rotations that are always easy to follow. And now the officials will be talking it over to see about the switch. And South 16-9. And now officials looking at, I think maybe we'll find out here. And he'll come back down to the table. As Autumn Lopez serving here. And still the officials talking down at the table. As now the scorer at the table trying to find out what's going on. Coach English will call our players over for a moment. Or one of her players over. Bylam to talk about it. And following this one, at around 1 o'clock, Our Lady of Lake University, the host, taking on Texas College. Our Lady of Lake, the 3 seed, and Texas College, the 6 seed. As again, the delay here, now the official talking. The two players there. Dylan Bylam for Southwest and Candace Jackson for Jarvis Christian. Explaining what's happening with the rotation, and it looks try and figure out what's happening. Make sure for updates on all Red River Athletic Conference activities, you visit the website at www.redriverconference.com and follow the conference on Facebook and Twitter. Use the hashtag RRAC Volleyball or RRAC Sports. As still Coach English talking to the near side, the floor official. As tried a substitution there. As trying to get Martinique Larvingo in. Now Larvingo's going to have to come out, maybe. We'll see. As they now have the rotation. As this has been quite the delay here. As University of the Southwest trying to move on. Southwest was in the championship game actually twice in their history. 2 years ago when the conference tournament was in Houston. They fell to Our Lady of the Lake in the final. And then back again. I believe it was in 2006. I believe. I have to just check that again. Jarvis Christian, their fourth all-time match in the conference tournament. Coach English still talking to the official now. Trying to get to the substitution. So it's going to be, we're going to have to see. Now they will call up Addie Jimenez. And again, they will go to the scorer's table. While they figure this out, we're going to take a break. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. As Jimenez back in, Larvingo out. Larvingo now coming around maybe to try and get in, or here in a moment. But Lopez with the serve over. And that's put in by Lacey. And now Larvingo can come in. And Jimenez will come out. So Smith to serve for Jarvis Christian. Over the top and pushed back, but Lacey tried to get it over there, but just a little high on her, so it's returned back. Lopez across Mancera, puts it down off the block in air, point Southwest. So Marquez will check back in for the Mustangs. So Sarah Marquez to serve. The serve over. And again, another one where really if you have to jump, you're that far back and you have to jump for a ball, you might as well let it go. And that's now 3 times Jarvis has made that mistake of letting a ball that was going to go out. Keeps it back in a play, but nicely punched over the point for Jarvis is Candace Jackson. 7-point lead. So Lauren Johnson serving now for Jarvis. Sophomore from Everman. Marquez. Bynum sends it back over. Back Lacey off the fingertips, kept alive by Esparza. As Dribblevist, the hitting error into the net. 8-point lead now for the for Jarvis Christian College. Back over. Lopez. Marquez. Dribblevist spins it back. Kept alive there by McCleveland. And Jackson falling back. Will send the ball into the back of the referee. Point for Southwest, who trails Jarvis 19-12 here in set number 3. Jarvis trying to force a set number 4. Dribblevist with the serve. As McCleveland over the top. Marquez, Lopez, Bylum over the top. Nice job to keep that alive. Tarver. McCleveland sends it back over Lopez. Marquez pushed back, and Larvingo's shot is returned by Tarver. Esparza over the top and not able to get over to that one. And a point to Southwest, back to within 6 now, trailing 19-13. Dribblevist. Southwest has had success when she's at the serve, and that's a nice one, catches the top of the net. And Lacey Marquez digs it up. Lopez now looks. Esparza blocked at the net. And Candace Jackson gets that one at a 7-point advantage as Jarvis Christian gets the point down there. So Hutton to serve for Jarvis. Have a 7-point lead at 20-13. That's another service ace. 4th service ace for Jarvis here in this set. Hutton gets that one. And that's going to be 6 now for the match for Jarvis. The lead is at 8. And able to get it out over. Chris pushes back over. Marquez. Larvingo puts it down. And it's 21-14 now, Jarvis. So Addie Jimenez to serve here for the University of the Southwest. Jackson, and now Chris puts it over, kept alive by Esparza. Bylum back, and it's going to be long point for Jarvis. So Candace Jackson to serve here. 22-14. As again at the table, as we will check another rotation move here. As official asks Coach English to step back. As trying to get Taylor Joyner into the match there. And Addie Jimenez to serve. As Coach English looking a little frustrated. As again looking. For referee. As they came around, this all started with a substitution earlier in this set. I think they kind of threw things off on the Southwest rotation. As Coach English, at that point, tried to get Martinique Larvingo back into the match. Along was using Tramble to come in and switch off to bring in Larvingo and Joyner, but was unable to do so and had to wait another point to do the, what I believe was supposed to be the normal substitution or rotation involving Addie Jimenez. As Jimenez had to come back in at the point, then made the substitution, and now came around. And I think we got back to the point of the rotation where Kayla Tramble had come into the match for the first time today. And now it's a little different. She's out of the order. And I think they went to switch it back. And so now, the floor referee again now at the scorer's table. And we'll go to head referee. And with this, we'll take one more break. As this third set, spent a lot more time going over substitutions and rotations than volleyball. As we'll take a break, you're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And we're back. As Jaya Johnson has checked in for Jarvis now. Serving for the Bulldogs will be Candace Jackson. And actually we're not ready to start. Looked like we were ready to start, now we're not, and now English had sent Dylan Byland over to the up top referee. And now back to discuss with her coach as Coach English talking to the floor referee. And now we're waiting to see again. And again, they'll pick up the clipboard and come out, and we'll look. As we've had probably about 15 minutes, and that was the issue, as coming back in is Kayla Tramble. And Tramble in, and now back out again, maybe, yes, as they let it go, as Taylor Joyner now in. And now Candace Jackson to serve at an 8-point lead. And so maybe that is complete now. As Byland sent back at the net, put down by Joyner. And Joyner will get Southwest back to within 7 here. Now substitution as Marquez comes in. And Mancera will come in for Southwest. Service over there. As McCleveland puts it down and did a great job to avoid the net. And now it's an 8-point lead again, Jarvis. So Tarver serving. As Jarvis trying to force a 4th set here. And service error for the Bulldogs. So Alexia Esparza serving now for Southwest. And up over the top as Hutton. Chris will send it back. Byland and Esparza into the net, and that's going to be set point for Jarvis Christian. Their second set point of the match. First of this 3rd set, as they are a point away from forcing a 4th set and winning their second ever set in the conference tournament. And dribble this back. And a collision. And that will do it. And Joyner and Jimenez collide there. The point there for Jarvis Christian. They take set number 2, 25-16. Southwest still leads 2 sets to 1. We will take a break. Set number 4 coming up. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the Rack Sports Net. Set number 4 coming up here in the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament first round matchup between the 4 seed, the University of Southwest, who's up 2 sets to 1 on the 5 seed, Jarvis Christian College. Jarvis Christian getting the win there. That last set, their second set they've won. in the conference tournament. As we're waiting here for a start. As again waiting for final substitutions there as McCleveland will come out, and back in now is Tarver. So Smith to serve here. Pushed up, that's it, dribble miss in between Tarver and Smith. And it's 1-0 Southwest here. So dribble miss to serve here. And dug up by dribble miss. Back around Esparza, blown up there at the net for a moment there by Johnson. Back again, Esparza, it's going to be whistle point as carrying it over. And we're tied at 1. Esparza, up there by Gray. It's over there by Jackson. Marquez, the dribble miss, comes forward, miss hits, as she kind of cut off the tips of her fingers there, and a point for Jarvis now, 2-1. Come back. That's McCleveland over the top and down. And Jarvis with a 3-1 lead now. And point Southwest to 3-2 as Esparza puts that one down. So point for the Mustangs here. We're tied at 3. McCleveland over the top, kept alive there by Byland. Marvingo sends it back. Tarver. Smith over to Lacey, sent back again by Lopez. Jackson has McCleveland over the top. Byland. As dribble miss will send it wide. Point Jarvis, 4-3. As Hutton to serve. Chris is back in for Jarvis. Hutton up over the top and service ace. And that is the 5th service ace in the last 2 sets here for Jarvis Christian. And a 5-3 lead now for the Bulldogs. Lopez as Byland over to Larvingo. As Chris not able to get enough in there to get it higher. And a point for the Mustangs, who trail by 1 now. As Jasmine Esparza, or Espada, looking to come in. No, it's not. As again will be Taylor Joyner will be coming in. Lopez the serve. Try to tie it up for Southwest. And Tarver back. Chris off the fingertips of the defenders there. Milan sets back as Lopez will just send it back over. Smith, McCleveland. Milan digs it up. Lopez back now. It's Sarah's shot. And it's sent back to her. And Sarah pushing back, and it's going to be a blocking error by McCleveland, and we're tied at 5. So Autumn Lopez the serve again here for Southwest. And now it's Candace Jackson is trying to say that one of the Southwest players' his head was underneath. Jackson pushes back and will find the line past a diving dribble miss, and Jarvis takes the lead back at 6-5. So Candace Jackson serving here for Jarvis. Over the top of the net, Lopez keeps that one alive. And Sarah blocking error off of Chris. Point for Southwest, tied at 6. So Alexia Esparza to serve. Esparza serve over the top. Nice serve as a laser shot catches the line. And point for Southwest at 7-6. Jarvis players arguing about the call, but it was good. Right on the line. And again, that one will not be, and that one's off service error. Seven all the score. So Tarver to serve here now. 7-7 set number 4. Over the top. And kept alive by Bylam. And there is lack of communication there as Mancera collides with dribble miss. And it's a Jarvis point at 8-7. Tarver serving again here. Over the top. Bylam as Joyner sneaks that one past the defenders. Everyone from Jarvis had kind of shifted to this near side and found an opening. And we're tied at 8. So Sarah Marquez the serve. Marquez the serve. It's going to be wide. Service error. And point for Jarvis now, 9-8. So Gray now to serve. As Joyner over. Kept alive. Dribble miss blocked there at the net. Kept alive as Jackson pushes this back. Esparza. Bylam back over Mancera. At the net, over the top. Kept alive again by Jarvis. Lacey at the net puts it down. And Jarvis takes a 2-point lead at 10-8. Jarvis trying to force a 5th and deciding set here. Over the top. Mancera sneaks over. Kept alive. Jackson sets up. And Johnson over. Dribble miss. Just sending it back. Tarver sets up again. Lacey over the top. Kept alive. Mancera over again. Up top, Mancera over the dribble miss. Off the top, Tarver digs it up. Jackson pushes over. Lacey mistimes the jump. And the point for Southwest. And so 10-9 now. Southwest back to 1 again. So Jasmine Espada will come in. And coming out, Taylor Joyner. As Espada to serve. Espada, a freshman from Killeen, Texas. We'll send that one just over the top. Nice serve. As it just, the bottom dropped out of it as soon as it went over the net. And caught Lacey off guard. And nobody could come to recover off of that. We're tied at 10 now. That's Espada. He's played in 22 matches this year. We'll send that as a service error. And 11-10. Jarvis back up top. So Jemiah Smith to serve. .54 junior out of Huntsville, Texas. Send that over. Marquez pushes back to Esparza, and Esparza will get it off the block in error from Candace Jackson and Lauren Johnson. We're tied at 11. So dribble miss to serve. Smith has Lacey over the top. Phylum now across Esparza, and Esparza puts it down as Gray catches it off the forearm, and Southwest takes the lead at 12-11. So dribble miss. And Southwest has scored 4 of the last 5 points here in this set. As Jackson off the block in error, point Southwest. As off of Larvingo, and we're tied at 12. Lauren Johnson serving now for Jarvis Christian. On the top there, Lopez, Marquez now put down by Larvingo. As Larvingo putting some power on that one. And the point now 13-12. As Larvingo picks up her 7th kill of the match. Lacey over the top. Lopez keeps alive. Now Larvingo, and dribble miss will just put it over and pop back down. Actually, will go into the net. The point. And we're tied at 13. As Hutton to serve. Esparza over the top and catches the divider there hanging from the ceiling. And the point for Southwest at 14-13 now. So Autumn Lopez serving here. And the serve over. Up the live there. As McCleveland sends it over. As actually coming forward. And the violation on Southwest on Joyner. So Candace Johnson the serve as we're tied at 14. Candace Jackson waiting now for the whistle. And over the top, nice serve. Kept alive, nice return. That's Chris. And a collision as Tarver and Hutton not communicating there. The point for Southwest, 15-14. Esparza, nice serve over. Jackson, and push down Jaya Johnson. And a point for Jarvis on the violation. Tied at 15. Tarver serving here. Tarver over. Jackson sets up for Chris, who pushes it back. Phylum over as Mancera off the hand of Candace Jackson, and Southwest again by 1. So Sarah Marquez now to serve for the Mustangs. Right now are clinging on to a 1-point advantage here in this 4th set. Hutton and Lauren Johnson into the net, and a 2-point advantage now. And a timeout called by Southwest, I think, called the timeout, and we'll take the timeout as well. 17-15, Southwest leads Jarvis Christian up 2 sets to 1. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. Sarah Marquez to serve now. As Jackson to Johnson. Candace Jackson serves up Lauren Johnson for the point, and Jarvis back to within one now. So Gray to serve here. Jarvis tried to tie it again. Over the top. Marquez across over as Johnson pushes back. Dribblebus off the fingertips of the blockers at the net. Pushed back by Jackson. Punched up by Marquez. Lopez. Byland blown up there. No, kept alive. And no, that's going to be four touches by Southwest. And we are tied at 17. So Jayla Gray looking to give Jarvis the lead again here in this fourth set. And dug up nicely by Jackson. Pushed over the net by Tarver. Marquez looks back. Bylam. Tarver. Jackson sets up as Lacey puts it down. And Jarvis will take the lead back by one. 18-17. So Jarvis keeps fighting here, trying to force a fifth set. And Southwest trying to get out of here. Over the top there, Esparza. Alexia Esparza comes to the back and puts some power to put that one down. We're tied at 18. Larvingo back in, and Jasmine Espada will come in. Espada, who had a service ace her last time serving, steps up as we're tied at 18. Over the top and another one. So 3 serves and 2 service aces now for Espada, the freshman. And the lead for Southwest now 19-18. Jackson sets over to Johnson, and Johnson points Southwest on the violation. And a 2-point lead now for Southwest. Southwest trying to avoid the upset and advance to the semifinal against Houston Tillotson. And service error. And that will bring Jarvis back to within one here. So Taylor Joyner will check back in for Southwest. And Jamia Smith serving now for Jarvis Christian. Over the top there. Marquez, that's kept alive. Smith, Lacey, pushed back by Dribblebus. Back over to Dribblebus. Puts it over again, kept at the net. Pushed back over the top by Lauren Johnson. And we're tied at 20 now. And a fantastic play by Lauren Johnson there. Looked like Dribblebus was going to just annihilate that ball. But Johnson got just the perfect amount of touch on it to send it back. Marquez pushes over. Dribblebus pushed back down again by Johnson. And Johnson pushes it back as everyone for Southwest had moved up towards the 10-foot line. Or not 10 foot, but. And now sit back. 21-20, Jarvis lead. Candace Jackson sends it over. Marquez, Lopez, Bylam. Nicely kept alive by Gray. Lacey over the top. Marquez, Lopez coming from behind. Esparza kept alive again by Gray. Smith pushes over to Lacey. Lacey gets it down. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Timeout, Southwest. 22-20. Jarvis trying to even it up and force a fifth set. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. 22-20. Jarvis leads it. Set number 4. Trying to tie it up at 2 sets apiece and force a 5th and final set. Dribble miss. Marquez back. Dribble miss again. Sends it back. Kept alive. Push back over. And Lauren Johnson sends it over. Marquez over to Larvingo. Dug up by Smith. Lacey pushes it back. Dribble miss. Marquez back down. Bylum trying to keep it alive. Tarver does as Lauren Johnson sends it over. Marquez sets up Larvingo. Pushed back at the net by Johnson. Johnson again puts it down. And that is 5 straight points for Jarvis Christian as they've taken a 23-20 lead. And the final timeout for Southwest here as they trail 23-20 here in set number 4. But up 2 sets to 1. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. Welcome back, 23-20. Jarvis Christian trying to force a 5th and final set. As waiting here as they go over who's on the floor again. As we're waiting to see again. 23-20. As Jamia Smith back to serve. Still waiting. As they've had a lot of discussions today down at the scores table. And now Coach English wants to ask what happened. And the floor official will go and talk to her again for a moment. As this has been an ongoing problem for the day. (23-20) the score. And still waiting for the explanation down as Coach English not happy as so I'm trying to see what changes because everybody is still on the floor for the Mustangs when the timeout was called. Everybody looks to be in the same spot, and now, here we go. So Julia Smith here will serve over. Marquez across the dribble miss. Kept alive Smith as Lauren Johnson will send it over. Lopez, Marquez, Larvingo finds the line on the far side. And it's 23-21 now. Southwest back to within 2 here. So dribble miss to serve now. And into the net, service error. And that will give set points to Jarvis Christian. And Laura Johnson to serve. As that is 8 service errors now for Southwest. Larvingo has it sent back. Island sends it there. Smith, Jackson, McCleveland punch back up. Island sends it over. Smith over to Lacey. Lopez up as McCleveland puts it down. And Jarvis will force a fifth set, 25-21. Winner takes all coming up in set number 5. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sportsnet. And welcome back. 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the campus of Our Lady of the Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, just outside of downtown San Antonio. As we are ready for set number 5 here. The winner of this one goes on to play Houston Tillotson tonight at 7 in the semifinals. Jarvis trying to get the upset and get their first ever conference tournament victory, as they have already doubled the total number of sets won prior to the tournament here in this one. Jarvis playing like they have nothing to lose. And Southwest kind of showing a little bit of nerves. That's waiting here. And again, Southwest with an issue there with, or Coach English talking to the official. And now I think we're underway as the official checking the rotations. And I think we're good. Let's pray for a smooth 5th set. So Jamea Smith the serve now for Jarvis Christian. That's a whistle, and we at the 5th set underway. Esparza there, Byland, and Larvingo shot is blocked by Lacey and Lauren Johnson, and 1-0 for Jarvis Christian. 5th set rules, first to 15, win by 2. As Smith up, and going to be a service error. And that is going to be the 16th service error by Jarvis Christian this afternoon, or this morning. And it's hitting a moment there. Jarvis put back over by Smith. Marquez, Larvingo missed it. I don't know if she meant to or not, but dribble miss sends it back. Over the top there, Jackson, dribble miss. Marquez puts back again. Bylam. Smith, Lacey over the top of the defenders and going to be into the net is Lacey, as Tanika Lacey with the violation in 2-1 now. Southwest with the lead. Marquez dug up, and Smith punched back. Jackson not able to get a clean return, and 3-1 Southwest. So Southwest right now in the early on seem to be the team with the steady nerves in the fifth set. As Lacey almost touched the net there, as she reached out like she was going to grab it, but doesn't. And a point there for Lacey, and Jarvis back within one now. So Lauren Johnson now serving. As Lauren Johnson gets that one over. Jackson back. Smith pushes over McCleveland. And not able to return there as Mancera sends it wide. And we're tied at 3. Over the side there. But over the top. Push back over McCleveland. Mancera. Dribble miss. Push it back. Smith around to Lacey off the fingertips. Kept alive, Mancera. Esparza, dribble miss. Over the net, push back down. And again, McCleveland again kept alive by Jarvis. Johnson, Smith has to just return it. Kept alive, Mancera. Marquez, dribble miss. Back. Lacey, Smith sets up over to Jackson. Over the top there. Marquez. Set back and into Candace Jackson. The long point goes to Southwest. And we'll see how the momentum of that point plays out here in this fifth set for Southwest and for Jarvis. As Jarvis and Southwest, a lot of hustle on that point. We've had a few of those today there. Jarvis. Back down and able to return. Oh, it's in! Tarver watched it as it just slowly, and it looked like it was going to take forever to hit, and it does. And Southwest now leads by 2 at 5-3. Dribble miss. The serve, and that's going to be a service error. And that is going to be service error number 9. I'm sorry. Service error number 16 for Southwest. Because I think I got that backwards a moment ago, as Jarvis with 8 service errors today. That is going to be a service ace by Jamisha Hutton. Hutton gets her second ace now of the match. That's 7 as a team for Jarvis. And we're tied at 5. Hutton to serve again here. Into the net, service error. And so now that is 9 service errors for Jarvis Christian. So Lopez will serve. Southwest with the lead here by 1. It's 6-5. Autumn Lopez over the top. Pushed over Jackson. Chris into the net. Unforced error. Point for the Mustangs. Their lead is 2 now. It's 7-5. Sends it back. Over the top. Esparza sends it over. Tarver. Smith pushes over. McCleveland off the fingertips of Lopez. And point for Jarvis Christian. Point down, Southwest. And we will switch sides as Southwest will take the 8-6 lead here. third 5-set match for Jarvis this year. They're 1-1. And point for the Mustangs now, 9-3 the lead. As Candace Jackson pushes over. Sent over by Gia Johnson. Esparza and over the antenna, point for Jarvis Christian. 9-7 Southwest leads. At point for Southwest now, 10-7. And this is the third 5-set matchup for Jarvis this year. As they also, for Southwest, as they're also 1-1. Timeout on the floor. 10-7 Southwest leads. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. Esparza serving here with a 3-point advantage here for Southwest. Trying to close out and escape. And that's going to be a service error. And that was close. That was very, very close. And so Jarvis will pull within 2 now. Both teams, the winner advances to the semifinal against Houston Tillotson at 7 tonight. Tarver, Johnson puts back, and it's going to be out wide. Point for the Mustangs, back to a 3-point lead. Jarvis Christian trying to get their first ever Red River Athletic Conference tournament win. The Southwest trying to get their 10th all-time tournament win. So they come in at 9-9 all-time. As Lauren Johnson puts that down, and again, Jarvis back to within 2 here. Jemiah Smith the serve. Jarvis had a lot of success with Smith. And Esparza puts that over. Smith around Lacey. Kept alive there and probably could have let that one go, and Byland had a look like, yes, she should have. Tarver. And Smith just sends it back. Another long point, looks like Bylam. And Jarvingo puts it down. Larvingo, a 3-point lead for Southwest at 12-9. Sarah Marquez comes in to serve. Marquez, the freshman from El Paso, puts that over. Candace Jackson blocking error, point for Jarvis. As the Bulldogs again back to within 2. But they have not been able to get over that hump of the 2-point difference here in a while. Marquez sneaks it over the top, and again back to a 3-point advantage. And timeout called by Jarvis Christian, trailing 13-10. And we're tied 2 sets apiece. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. And welcome back. As Dribblebus to serve here. Seeing if she can close it out. Up and over. Nice serve. Candace Jackson for McCleveland. And able to get it over the top there is Bylum. Around to Lacey. Answers back. So Tanika Lacey able to put that one there. And for Lacey, that is kill number 11. At point, Southwest, match point for the University of Southwest. So Autumn Lopez trying to advance Southwest to the semifinals. Smith, Jackson, McCleveland puts it down, and Jarvis says not quite yet. As they're again back to within 2. So the second match point coming here for Jarvis. It's Candace Jackson to serve. Over the top. Marquez. Back and blown up at the net by McCleveland. Chantel McCleveland. The all-conference representative for Jarvis, and a timeout by Southwest. 14-13. Mustangs looking at their third match point here. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the RAC Sports Net. Welcome back. 13 blocks as a team for Jarvis today. They're back to within 1. Byland as Grizzle puts it back over. As McCleveland touched off the side. And point for Jarvis, and we're tied at 14. We're tied at 14. And over the top, dribble miss. Ilam, and into the net. Match point for the first time ever for Jarvis Christian College in the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament. And we'll take a timeout here. 15-14, match point Jarvis Christian. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on RAC Sports Net. Candace Jackson trying to do what no one's done for Jarvis, and that is get end it and advance in the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament. Over the top, Marquez. Mansell put down, and no point. I thought it went over, but it didn't. Point Mustangs, and we're going to be tied at 15. Kind of lost where the ball was for a moment there. Thought they had done it. 15 all. Over the top. And sent back again, Lopez. Ilam. Over there, Esparza kept alive Tarver. Smith across into the net. Point Southwest. Match point number 4 for Southwest. 16-15. Whoever wins, it's been a great match. And McCleveland kept alive there. Set up now. Sent over and blocked. Blown up at the net. 14 now for Jarvis Christian. That's McCleveland and Jan Johnson on that one. 16 all. As Monet Tarver sends it. Lopez sets back. Marquez over the top. Or Esparza, that was over the top. Chris put it over, kept alive. Now going to be pushed back over the top by Hardison. As now pushed back over for Byland. Jackson Pushed over the top there by Johnson. Bylam sets up, blown up again at the net there by Chris. Esparza over the top, and it's going to be a touch point for Southwest. And match point number 5 now for the Mustangs. So Alexia Esparza now trying to advance Southwest to the semifinals. Kept alive there. Push back, and that's going to do it. Southwest will win it. They avoid this upset, 18-16, and will advance to take on Houston Tillotson tonight at 7 o'clock in the semifinals. And it was a classic from the get-go. First set went to Southwest 25-19. Second set went to Southwest 27-25. Jarvis responded 25-16 in set number 3. Even it up in set number 4, 25-21. And Southwest surviving the 5 seed, 18-16 in set number 5 to win it 3 sets to 2, and will take on Houston Tillotson tonight at 7 o'clock. Season comes to an end for Jarvis Christian, but they have a lot to build on as they will finish the season at 8-19, 3-9 in conference play. It was a nice turnaround for Coach Jasmine Abbott in her first season. Well, Coach Katrina English advances her team as they now go to 12-19 on the season and will now be 10-9 all-time in conference tournament and sits at number 3 spot in most wins in conference tournament history now as they pass up Our Lady Lake as they were tied with. And that's who's next. We'll take a break. We'll be back with your next one coming up here in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You're watching the 2019 Red River Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament on the Rack Sports Net.